Missladypetal here. Look, it's been a long time since I've done a blog and a vlog, and I have to admit that I've been going through a really hard time, and I don't feel that me sharing a lot of what I'm going through in a negative sense is really good. I like to be encouraging and uplifting to all my subscribers, and when I'm going through a tough time, if I share all the details of what's going on there, it just can sometimes be a bit depressing. But there is a light at the end of the tunnel. So what I've been going through for the last 6 weeks essentially is that we are going to be changing direction, my husband and I, with our lives and leaving our business. It's going to be a big change, and we are starting new jobs come Monday. So a blessing. Didn't know whether we were going to have work to go to, but in the last 6 weeks we've both sourced great jobs. And in fact, what's going to be happening is we're going to have more disposable income than what we had before. And before we were comfortable. We had a great life, and yeah, we're going to have to adjust. Both of us are going to be working long hours, not as long as what we did with the business, but still long hours. We're not going to be able to choose when we work. These vlogs will be done at night now rather than during the day, because I won't be here during the day because my job's full-time. And I now will be able to schedule my time better, and I am much happier. That's the main thing. And gee, there's lots of things that have happened over the last 4 weeks. I've been doing some courses. I haven't done a lot of painting. I found that I was just not in a place where I could do that, and it was really hard. So I decided that I needed to fulfill my commitments, but that was all I did. And that's why you haven't seen any Technique Fridays and Mash It Up pages, because I just didn't. I was spending all of my time looking for work, and I was doing things that I had to do, and I just felt like my creativity had to take a back seat. And you know, sometimes that happens in life, and you can't always choose that. You can't always choose it, but we have. And I am excited about new beginnings, and my latest Mash It Up page is all about new beginnings, and the quote that I found was all about exactly where I'm at right now. So it's worth having a look at that video. It's just gone up today, and it was just something that I just really felt to paint, and made me happy while I was doing it, and that's a good thing, because I haven't had lots of that in the last 6 weeks. So that's what's happening for me right now. On a lot of other fronts though, it's been awesome. We had the Ignite conference at my church last week with Kevin Dedman from Bethel Church in Redding, California, over to visit us, and he was amazing. The power of God and the healing power of God just flows through him in an incredible fashion. And I came out of that with a golfer's elbow healed. I've come out of it. I have a ligament, a torn ligament in my right knee. And it meant that I could walk and I could even run, but I couldn't spring, which meant that I couldn't play sport because I can't take off quickly. And that got healed. I know, it's an instant thing because I either can do it or I can't. And with that kind of injury, it needed surgery to fix it, and it was amazing, really amazing. I enjoyed it a lot. And I like being more pain-free. And then thinking to myself, oh, I'll go and get a massage the day after, on Monday, went and got a massage. Oh, hurt. Really, it hurt a lot. And I just really felt that I needed to release some of the existing stress that was in my body that I carried over the 6 weeks. And it was such a relief at that point, because I found out on the Friday that the conference started that I got a position, and the position I've got is a supervisory position in a customer service team, and they are lovely. Lovely. It's lovely that I'm going to. And to tell you an interesting story, right, about that, I walked in for the interview, and the general manager said to me, "Oh, I just want to let you know that the position that was advertised is no longer available." And I went, "Oh, really? Then why am I here? Why didn't you just let me know that the position is no longer available?" And he said, "Because the outgoing office manager has taken up the position that you applied for, but after looking at your resume, I think that you may actually fit the bill." And I went, "Oh, okay." He said, "Would you be interested?" And I went, "I think so." So we sat and talked about business for an hour and had a really nice chat, and I really felt like we really got each other. And I got an email the next day saying, "Can you come in for another second interview?" And I did, and it lasted 25 minutes. And in that interview, I was talking to the office manager, the current office manager, and she was saying to me, she was just ticking things off her list as I was talking. She was asking me some questions, and she's ticking some things off her list. And she said to me, "You're answering all the questions before I ask them." So the interview only went for 25 minutes. It was slated to go for an hour, but she said that because I answered all the questions before she asked them, that it didn't need to take any longer than that. It seemed to be on the same wavelength. I got home, and 5 minutes after I got home, I got confirmation that I was being offered the position. So that was exciting. That was really exciting. I haven't had anything like that before, where it's been so quick and so affirmative, and that whole process was really encouraging and affirmative. And I can tell you, after having been in the job market for a sum total of 6 weeks now, that I find that the job market generally is not encouraging, and people aren't interested, and I really think that some people, when they're hiring, could be a lot nicer to the people that are applying. I know as an employer I was, and I used to encourage everyone and take time for people, and I get that there are more people applying for certain jobs these days, but really I just thought that the majority of places where I applied, most of them came back with, "You're overqualified, we think you get bored, we can't be bothered even asking you whether that would be the case." You know, it was just, I just thought it was cold. And I thought, yeah, whereas where I got offered the position, it wasn't cold, it was encouraging, it was really, it was a great process to go through, and I think ultimately the best fit for me at this point. I was really pleased about the whole thing and was able to be really honest, and they were honest back, and it was great, really great. Because in a lot of places you have to, you know, you can tell that people are being deceptive and that there's hidden agendas and all sorts of things like that. So yes, I just really enjoyed that whole process, and I'm very relieved that our family is going to be looked after, and we're going to be looked after well, and that's great. And we're going to be leaving the business now with no debt, which is even better, because 6 weeks ago it didn't look great. So yes, we're excited about all of those things happening. So yes, what's on the agenda for me now? I'm still going to fulfill all my commitments on my design team for Crafty Crusaders and my teaching for journaling Crazy Island style. This is those things, I still have my weekends and I still have my nights, and I still have time to be able to fulfill my commitments. And my Technique Fridays will probably be done at night now. The next one that I'm looking at doing is just on lips, very simple, very short, but very basic. If you're looking to get a skill in a certain area and you struggle with something, then you know you can just have a look at some of these quick tutorials to have a little bit of an idea about what you want to do with your drawing, and to encourage you to try different things. So there's that. I started working on a life book lesson last night, and I had downloaded lesson part 1 and part 3 but no part 2, and I have a Wi-Fi problem in my house right now and I couldn't download the 2, so I'm in the middle of that, not doing any just doing my own thing at the moment. so yeah, I've been having fun with that, and I think particularly with Pauline Agnew's course I have grown a lot with my expressive painting, and I like that more painterly kind of feel. And sometimes it, you know, I don't have to draw, I can just paint, and that's better for me in some things, but it expands my skill set and my horizons. So yeah, I'm really excited about everything that's happening there. And my singing's going great. I just, you know what, I'm glad that you guys love me anyway. With everything that's been going on, I'm glad you love me anyway. I'm glad that there's a bunch of loyal people out there that'll wait for me and appreciate what I do, and just know that your comments and your caring messages and everything have really helped me through this period, and there's nothing like that I can just, that I think it just fills an additional hole that some of us have in our lives, where we want to feel like we're on the right path and we're being making good decisions, and we're supported and loved no matter what. And yes, you've got your family and your significant others and all that, but I consider my subscribers part of my family. You're part of my online family, and that's really important to me. And so you are great. You're great. So yes, I have some projects that I'm working on, and wow, what else? I've just done so many. I've got a list. I have a list of things here that I was talking about. There's the Brisbane Scrapbook and Papercraft Show on next weekend. Very exciting. Going with my friend Vicky McBride, who's going to be in Brisbane with her husband Michael, celebrating their wedding anniversary, so I get to snag her for one day to go to the Papercraft Show. And Jane Davenport will be there with her stand. I'm going to hang out at her stand for a while. We're going to sit there and journal together. But if any of you are in Brisbane or nearby and you want to come and hang out with us, my friend Michelle Grant's going to be teaching from... she's going to be doing some classes. She's an amazing teacher, and if you got the Scrapbook and Papercraft brochure and magazine, one of Michelle's absolutely gorgeous girls is on the front cover. Like, she's amazing. So I'm going to be catching up with her, and then there's some other design team members going to be at that show from the Crafty Crusaders team, and it's going to be awesome. So I'm even going to be taking my trusty phone there, and going to be doing some video, and going to put one up from Missladypetal at the Scrapbook and Papercraft Show, It'll be fun, and you'll see some selfies and some photos of what I get up to and Vicky gets up to that day, and all the different stalls that we go to. It's lots and lots of fun, and I have to be careful that I don't spend too much money. But, you know, gotta be careful, yes. Because my little studio here is like chock-a-block. So, but I am thinking of moving out of this studio because it is small into a bigger room. But that would involve me having a very big think about the way that I organise my studio and how either messy or not messy it gets. Yes. So that could be on the cards for a while, and if I do move it, don't know if I'll be filming much that week, but I'll be filming the move a bit. I remember showing photos of when I reorganised this room into its current configuration, and OMG, that was massive, and I was exhausted that day. So if I do that, yeah, it'll be very, very different and exciting nonetheless. Yes. All right then, that's enough from me. I'll be with you next week, and I'll talk to you about how I went in my job for the first week, and I'll probably be exhausted. So if I'm exhausted, let me know. I'm tired, let me know. But I start on Monday, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. So ciao for now from Missladypetal, and remember, learn something new today. It keeps you young.